as far as this contest is concerned. Prempeh is looking to, win this for the 6th time and equal the record of Presec. Disadel College are looking for a repeat of 2016. That was the only time they won it, despite the numerous times they've been to the finals. And of course, as far as Presec is concerned, they won't make it 7. They want to extend the lead. Now, we're going to get into the data of all of this because the scores of Prempeh College throughout this tournament has been interesting. And we're going to look closely into the data, what it is telling us, and make some prediction relative to who is going to come on top. All right? That prediction will be left to you. But Kofi Eje, who is with our research desk, has been taking a look at the numbers, close look at the numbers. Kofi, interesting data. I mean, prior to the discussion, you were just sharing with me exactly what we're going to look at, and very interesting. Take us to what do you have on the screen right now?
So there is a hypothesis that I want us to test, and that hypothesis is that if you take this contest from 1/8 to the semifinals, the school that usually has the highest average always wins. So we are going to test this hypothesis right from 2018. Now, 2018 is a bit of an outlier because something happened. So probably we'll start with 2019 and we'll see how the data will tell the story beautifully. So let's go to our touch screen. And as you can see here, this is the school's average score right from the 1/8 to the semifinals. And also we have their final score in the grand finale. So let's start with 2019 NSMQ Finals. So it was between Ogasco, there was Presec, and there was also PESCO who contested for the enviable trophy.
And that's St. Peter's.
St. Peter's, actually. So if you look at the average score before they actually went into the grand finale, Ogasco had an average score of 56. That's the score that they had before they went to the finals. Second with the highest average score was Presec, 53. And then there was PESCO, St. Peter's, 52.3. Now look at what happened. Now, if you go to the grand finale score, you realize that the school that had the highest average actually won the trophy with 39, score. That was actually Ogasco with 56 in the average score right from the round 8 to the semi-final, and then they went ahead to win the contest with 39. And then also the second with the highest average score was Presec, 53. They were the second actually again, 34. And then the second runner-up was PESCO with 52.3 as average score, went into the final and placed third.
So that's interesting. 2019.
Absolutely.
The school with the highest average ended up winning it.
Ended up winning. That was 2019. So look at this. If you have the average score in right from the 1/8 to the semi-final, you are likely to win the contest. So let's go to 2020 if this was different. 2020, the schools changed. This time around it was between Presec, Opokuware, and Disadel. Now, look at this. The school that had the highest average going to the final was again Presec with 58.7. They went ahead to win the contest with 36. The second was OWAS, had the highest, but this time around the dynamics changed. We are still seeing the school with the highest average winning, but the school that had the second highest average went ahead to place third in the final. Rather, Disadel College that had 39.7 going into the final as an average score, rather became second with 31. That was 2020.
So for comparing 2018 to 2019, the difference here is that at least it was consistent relative to the team that had the highest average, ending up winning it. But the only thing that changed was the first runner-up position, which at Disadel went into the competition with the lowest average, but
still went ahead as
first
runner-up. So 2021, the story now follows what we saw in 2019. The school with the highest average mark being, the high average score being Prempeh College, 65.3. They were, actually being closely chased by Presec with 63.7. But in the grand finale, the trend did not change. Prempeh College went ahead to win the contest with 53, followed by Presec, the same trend, 49, closely contested. The third was Keta with 30. And now, if you look at 2018, where I said was the outlier, probably a lot of things played out here. Some of the conditions or the determinants that we held constant. So in this case, this analysis that we are doing, we are holding several things constant. We are only doing this analysis based on the average score of the school. Now, look at 2019, 2018. It was between Opokuwari, St. Peter's, and then Adisado College. The school that went into the finals with the highest average score was rather Opokuwari. Look at Opokuwari, where they ended up. They were rather first runner-up. But Adisado College went into the final with the least average, 51, went ahead to still be the second runner-up, 39. Then look at this. The school that won the contest was Pesco with an average score of 53.3, but still went ahead to win the contest with 45 points.
Absolutely interesting.
So that's the dynamics for you.
That's why you call it an outlier. Because,
an outlier.
Because the school with the least average going into the finals ended up winning the contest.
Probably because, you see, there's this school here, West African Senior High School. They, for the first time, went to the final without any, experience. So they actually lost it. But look at the scores. The scores were very close. 44. There was 45. And then 39. Very, very close.
Very close, because the point difference between WAS and St. Peter's, 1 point.
Exactly.
1 point.
They won the contest with just 1 point. So it tells you that St. Peter's at this point won the contest with experience because they have been there before.
They've been there before.
WAS haven't been there before. Probably that's the reason why they bottled it. But St. Peter's, they've been there before. They went ahead to win the contest. Now let's look at going into this year's final.
Of course, everybody's waiting to see whether
what's the permutation, what's the probability of winning. We know that Presec, they've been to the final how many times? This is their 11th
time.
So if you exclude today's final, they've been to the final actually 10 times.
10 times.
They've won 6 out of it.
Times.
It means that they've bottled the trophy for about 40%. The probability of them winning is about 60%.
60%.
Prempeh, on the other hand, have been to the finals, 7 times. If you exclude today's 6, they've won 5 out of the 6, giving them a winning average of more than 83%. They are going into the final with a lot of likelihood on their side. But if you look at Adisado College, they have been to the finals I think 6 times or 5, and they've won just 1.
Yeah, 6 times.
6 times.
And they've won once.
Once. So it means that the probability of they winning is about 20%. We'll consider that same thing with the average score that we have here. So let's look at the schools with the highest average score going into the final. First is Presec with the highest average score right from the 1-8 to the semifinals, 57.7, followed by Prempeh College. Now look at the gap between Prempeh College and Presec. Huge. Very significant.
57 and 40.
More than 10, right?
That's 10. 10-point difference. Almost 10-point difference.
That's very significant. So if you look at the difference between Prempeh College and Presec, it's about 10 points. That's the average. And so we are actually expecting that if the probability continues or the trend plays out, then Presec is going to carry the day. But I'll show you a different data that suggests that everything isn't really on the side of Presec.
So if you had to take,
if you
had to take into consideration, for instance, what happened in 2021, what happened in 2020, right?
And what happened in
2018, then there is a likelihood that Presec, who are going into this finals with the highest average, might win it.
They might win it. And in this case, they have the highest average score going into the final, and that gives them, the highest probability of winning. Prempeh being second, but we've seen a lot of surprises in this contest.
Okay.
At the Adisado College, if you look at their average score, 42.7, I was even predicting that probably we may not even see them in the final, but they pulled a certain surprise. This is because they've been here before. They are more or less like the Real Madrid of NSMQ. they may not play any beautiful football, but they'll find themselves in the final. And if you look at Presec, they mean business. Prempeh College, they mean business. They have been to the final 6 times and have won 5 out of it. It means that anytime Prempeh College qualifies to the final, there's a high likelihood that they will win the trophy. Presec, on the other hand, have been to the final 10 times and have won 6, bottling about 40% of their chances. But we'll look at other data from this side and see what's actually there for us.
So that's interesting. Kofi AJ bringing us up to speed on what the numbers are looking like for each of the teams going into the finals, and taking a look at historically what the data has been telling the team with the highest average historically, to some extent dating back from 2018, with the exception of 2019 there, has almost won it. We'll wait to see whether that's going to pan out this year also. Kofi, you have more to share with us?
There's more. Let's look at right from 1994. We're mentioning, this statistics, and then I was really happy. So if you look at right from 1994, when the maiden contest that Prempeh College won it, very prestigious. The very next year, we saw Presec coming into the picture, saying that we can't allow you to win it, back to back. They won it in 1995, and then in 1996, Prempeh College came back to their former position. They took their glory again, 1996. Then in 1997, both schools were relegated. Not relegated as in they didn't qualify, but rather there's a new face coming into the winning arena. That's Opokuware winning 1997. Then there was 1998, the first mixed school to win NSMQ. That was Achimota School winning in 1998. Then our fathers in Fanspim School winning 1999.
Why did you call them our fathers, though?
Probably they are the first
okay.
I'm not in Fanspim, but they are our fathers. So you see, right from 1998 to 2001, we've seen new faces. Achimota was introduced, and Fanspim came into the picture, St. Peter's, and then there was Echo Sam School, Pope John. They won in 2001, and we probably never saw them again. And 2002 to 2005, Prempeh was missing, but Presec was present. Opokuware came back again to redeem their lost glory in 2002. Presec Legon came to win again in 2003. There was Achimota again, winning their second trophy in 2004. Then St. Peter's came back into the picture in 2005 to claim their second trophy. 2008, what do we see here? From 2006 to 2009 was a year for Presec. This was the time they won the back-to-back, the first school and the only school to have done this. But they won in 2006. The only school that came in between them winning, 4 times or 3 times in a row was St. Augustine's. They came to win in 2007. Presec took their glory back in 2008, won back-to-back, 2008.
For the first time. First time in the competition, they won it back-to-back.
School, first time, and the only school to have done that. We are actually looking if Prempeh College.
And that's one feat they are looking to equal.
If they do this, one, they've equalized the number of trophies that they have won, and they'll be at par with Presec.
Yes.
If they do this, this will also give them the bragging right to
pretty much every record that Presec has been bragging about, Prempeh is looking to equal.
If Prempeh is able to equalize today, a lot of the records will be broken.
Interesting. Interesting.
So let's look at 2012, right from 2012 to 2016. New faces coming in again. GSTS came to win their first NSMQ trophy in 2012. That was St. Thomas Aquinas, 2013, Vance Mercer School. They won in 2013 and never came back again. And that was in Fanspim. I think this was their second time, 2014. Prempeh College, 2015. There was Adisado College, 2016. Look at this. Presec was missing here.
So for over 5 years, Presec
was missing.
Was missing completely.
In terms of winning. But probably they qualified to the final. But winning a trophy from 2012 to 2016, if you count the number of schools that won the trophy, Presec was nowhere to be found. Then the most recent one, right from 2017 to 2021, Prempeh College 1, Prempeh College 2, Presec 1, and then we have 2 other schools. St. Peter's, they've really done well, taking, I think, their 3rd in 2018. St. Augustine's, their 3rd in 2019. Presec came to win their, I think that was their sit, right? During the lockdown.
Yes, their sit.
And 2020. Then we have the reigning champions,
Prempeh
College 2021. And so probably today, let's look at the permutations and see if Kweku Owusu Prepared School would do any magic. So to me, it's a battle between, you rightly said it, it's the Ashanti region, the Central region, and the Greater Accra region. Which region will win the NSMQ 2022 or retain it?
You know, Central region has this this characterization as the center of education. You know, they have this, you know, this kind of aura. They're the center of education.
Absolutely.
They tout themselves as having the best secondary school. You know, Infantipim is there. You have Apam Senior High School is important. I mentioned that.
Then you also have Swesco, Swedro Secondary School, my school.
Okay.
You know, okay, we are in the Central region.
Yeah, there, you know, the Ghana National. And even as far as the, you know, the girls-only schools are concerned, Holy Child is there.
Exactly.
Fantaman is there.
Fantaman is there.
Know,
we have.
So,
I think Holy Child.
Holy Child, yeah, like we mentioned, is there. So you know, they have this kind of popularity as.
In fact, they have the first school built after independence.
Yes.
That's the PSC of all schools after independence.
So you call them the father.
That's my school, PSCA, Swesco.
Oh, okay.
We're actually the first school to be built after independence.
Okay.
So that's why we are called PSCA.
Okay.
And we are also in the Central region. But
okay,
maybe the figures may not be biased. Let's go to the figures and look at what the figures are saying.
Let's see.
So right from 1/8 to the semifinals, we are going to look at the schools and their average score. So Prempeh College 1/8 scored 46. Then the quarterfinals 47. Semifinals 49. So you can actually see an upward trajectory.
So that's an interesting upward trajectory. But it's also the number of points they add up to it, because 1/8,
the rate of change.
Exactly.
The rate of change is not really that much.
It's
but
not
it's
much.
still significant.
46, 47, 49. You know, and average 47 points.
But I'll show you where someone also dropped a very significant point, significant amount of points. At Adisado College, 1/8, 52 points. So if you look at the 1/8 column, the school with the highest points is Presec, 55, followed by Adisado College, 52, and Prempeh College, number 3 with 46. Now, Adisado College in the quarterfinals, look at what happens. They drop.
All right. We are going to continue with the data and the analysis. What we understand is that in Adisado College, all the way in the Central region now, they are praying. So let's just take a listen to the prayers they are lifting up to the Almighty.
The interview, they can come to me and they will pick this thing from us. So we are waiting for them to pick the signal from this place and then we start. Okay? Have hope that it is.
Back to Adisado College. In fact, we'll get to all of the schools and I'll bring you up to speed on what is happening there. We're going to come back to the data. Yeah. We've taken a look at Prempeh College and the rate of change. Then we are now at Adisado. Okay.
So here, for Adisado, they actually had 52 in the 1/8, then dropped significantly, close to 20 points.
That's massive.
In the quarterfinals,
massive.
31. Very, very significant, from 52 to 31. But in the semifinals, they actually go back to their normal level, 45.
45 points in the semifinal.
An average of 42.67.
And that was an interesting contest for Adisado College. Yes. In the semifinal, where they were against St. Augustine's and Opokuwari.
Yes. So they actually won the contest, but if you look at, that was the semifinal.
Yes, 45 points.
But in the quarterfinal, I think they met my school. They couldn't really pull any weight. They got 31. But from 31 to 45 is actually also very good. It's an impressive upward adjustment we see over there, giving them an average of 42.67. Then let's look at the Odadie people.
Presec,
yeah. 55 to 67 to 51. Now I want us to look at this analysis. So if you look at all the columns, what do you see? Presec has been topping in all the columns. So if you look
They've
at
had the highest score
the highest score
all
in
of
all the separate stages in this competition. If you look at 1-8, they had the highest of 55.
Compared to the schools in the finals.
Quarterfinals, 67. Then semifinals, 51. So I can say that if you look at these three data sets, then 67 was more or less like an outlier. Because for them to move from 55 to 67 to 55, it means that the 50 column is actually their normal level. So the 67, they got it all right, but probably is an outlier. It could be they met schools that they were able to pick a lot of bonuses. It could be that, they had problem of the day, they scored 10 over 10, probably because it was something they really knew or something, or it was a field that, the contestants were really good at. There are so many factors that probably we are holding constant, and they play a significant role in a school getting a point. But you can see that from 67 to 51, that's a huge drop. A huge drop from 67 to 51. But I'm not so worried for Presec because 50 column more or less is like their normal level, whereas Prempeh is in the 45. That's their, if you look at the range, if you smoothen this, 47 mark is their smoothness level. So, but if you strike the average and you do some bit of error corrections, Presec's smoothness level should be about 53 mark. That's the kind. But they still have an average of 57.67, making them the school with the highest average going into the finals.
So as far as performance is concerned so far, compared to all the schools in the finals, Presec has been consistent.
Very consistent.
Very consistent. They've put out the best performance so far in the 1-8 stage, in the quarterfinals and the semifinals.
And if we should go by the analysis we did earlier, that the school with the highest average from the 1-8 to the semifinals always win, then there's a high likelihood that Presec will win. But let's look at this. Let's look at the chances of winning. Chances of winning the.
So there's the chances of each team winning. Interesting.
So the odds.
So what went into this basically?
So basically we just this same average.
Okay.
If you add all these averages, and then you pick each school over the total, that should give you each school's chance of winning.
Okay.
Because they are supposed to share a certain sum of points, and if you strike the percentage for each school. Then Prempeh College will have, there are 3 schools, so there's no way one school probably, if you look at their scores, will get more than 50%. So Prempeh College, there's a 32.05% chance.
So there's a chance that Prempeh College will not retain their title. As far as the data is concerned, Prempeh might not retain their title.
It depends on what these 2 schools will do. It could be that one of these 2 schools may be losing, but may also block Prempeh's chance of actually maintaining their trophy. But their chances of winning is
32.05%. Not bad.
Not bad. If you look at
the gap compared to Presec Legon, for instance, who are 39.05%,
right?
That's quite huge.
Yes, 7%.
Yes.
In this contest is really significant.
And at Dissidel College, 28.90%.
Yes, 28.90, quite good. But at Dissidel, they've been, the element of surprise in this whole NSMQ because they had 31 in the quarterfinals. We're all saying this school cannot make it to the final. They showed us that the 31 was an outlier for them. They came back to their normal level of 45 and qualified to the finals. They met pretty good schools, Opokuware, and then there was St. Augustine. They still qualified. And, there's a whole, you are a sports journalist, so, formation on the football field is very important.
Absolutely.
Yesterday, I took time to watch all the contests of the schools.
That's the semi-final contest, or all of their contests?
From 1-8 to semi-final.
And what did you find out?
And I found out that the schools actually, they have their own tactics, like the way coaches have tactics on the field.
Okay.
So every school, they all know their strengths of their contestants. They know if the contest is more of biology, it will be in my favor or it will be in this person's favor. So they actually more or less like a lottery in putting out or in pairing contestants.
Okay.
Because yesterday, per a small survey we did with a contestant, you could see that most of them loved chemistry or
most of them like
chemistry or physics.
Or physics.
Physics.
Okay.
So if you look at this, then if you like physics, then probably you may also like mathematics. So and if you look at the answers they were given when they were asked elective maths or core maths, yeah, I mean they're science students, so they will definitely
they'll definitely prefer it.
Elective maths. But I want us to look at this winning percentage, and then you see that the pairing that each school will bring will have a significant impact on the chances
the
of winning.
students who are going to be on the podium on that day is going to a very large extent determine the outcome.
Absolutely. You know, each school has, I think, 3 contestants or candidates that they can.
And there's room for substitution, and we've
absolutely.
seen substitutions done in this tournament before.
So if you look at Adisado's, I think their quarterfinals, I've forgotten the name of the contestant, but he was not present, but in the semifinals, he was there. You could see he was actually the probably in Samba football, I would say the dancer, like he was the one driving the contest, answering most of the questions. Yes. And he wasn't present in the quarterfinals that they got.
So there's a likelihood that the teams might change.
Yes, the teams might change.
The individuals who will be contesting in the final.
Depending on where the contest will actually be leading to. And I must say that if you look at the problem of the day, there's a high likelihood that schools will score high points or scores if it is mathematics.
Okay.
Usually if it's chemistry, they are really,
they struggle a bit when it's chemistry. But if it's mathematics, it's a bit more like...
Not really like they struggle, but you have to really follow a lot of procedure when you are doing chemistry. And then there's a lot of discretionary power, exercised by the quiz mistress when it's chemistry or sometimes when it's biology. But when it's mathematics, come on, mathematics.
One of the interesting things I found out about those who are in the finals today is, and it's almost run through all who have won it, the 11 schools that have won this very competition before. You mentioned Achimota School is the only mixed school to have won it. And even the finals this year, you could see that they're all boys' schools.
All boys' schools.
Is there any dynamics to this? Is there any reason why? For instance, we are not seeing Ibri girls in the finals. We are not seeing Holy Child in the finals. We're not seeing Infantiman. Is there any reason at all from the research you've done why we are not seeing the girls?
I think the only determinants will be how these schools have set up the system that they have.
Okay.
In fact, NSMQ is an integral part of every secondary school's itinerary or their
routine. They make it because it's almost part of their the personality.
So it means that if you do not have the system that PRESEC is having, or the system that Prempe is having, or the system that Adisada College or St. Augustine's, or let's say any other school in Fanspem or Opokuware, you are likely to make it to the final, but you may not win.
Interesting. What do you think? Why do you think we are not seeing a lot of the girls-only schools in the finals of the competition? You're saying it might be a case of the system that is in place in schools like PRESEC, in schools like Prempeh College, in schools like Disadel, who have won it before and been to the finals a number of times. Why do you think so? Why do you think we're not seeing even most of the mixed schools? Achimota School is the only one to have won the contest before mixed school, as far as that is concerned. Why do you think so? Head to our social media handle and interact with us. Hashtag NSMQ on Joy, hashtag NSMQ Final. Tell us why you think all of these schools are not, getting in there. But remember, the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz is produced by Primetime Limited and sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with ABSA Ghana and supported by Goyle, Prudential Life Insurance, Airtel Tigo, Dano Milk, Newmont, GNPC, Accra College of Medicine, Academic City University College, and YFM are all part of the production. As far as the broadcast here on Joy News is concerned, we are supported by Virtual InfoSec Africa, Virtual Security Africa, Vitamilk, Alumni by Enterprise Life, Cowbell, Faith Toilet Roll, Ace Medical Insurance, Azar Groups, King Group Limited, and SmartSAP Family Health Medical School, DBS, ZNZ, NASCO, the Basto School, Corba, and Pharma Trust are all helping us to get this broadcast across for you.